Well, the opening stone being thrown now by the team Heggestad here in the 2026 Mr. Sub Senior Men's Provincial Playoffs. My name is Ian Tetley, and I'm here with my co-host Ross Scarrow, and we're here to bring you the live action.
Good afternoon, Ted. How are you?
Obviously, Bryan Cochrane's team here, his team of DJ Perron, Jeff Clark, JP Lachance, and obviously Bryan looking to get back to the Canadian seniors once again and try to bring home another title for Ontario.
This should be a really interesting game.
What do you know about these guys?
We got two teams that are very fascinating in their makeup. Of course, Bryan Cochrane been to a couple of Briers with his own team, and won the senior Canadian seniors in 2016, 2018. He was a world gold medalist in 2019. So obviously a solid player, solid team, but he's playing this Heggestad team who have been putting up points in big ways during this event. They've had 15 multiple point ends as they've gone through the week, and 7 3 ends and even a 4 end. So they like to score in bunches. And they'd like to make a lot of shots in a row. So we will see how things go between these two really good teams. This should be fun.
Oh God, yeah, we got Heggesteaded twice here in the last 2 days. I think he had 4 and 2 of those threes against us. So,
well, interestingly too, he has had no blanks. He has. There have been in all of his games. Heggestad had a lot of rocks in play, so there should be a lot of interesting situations as we go through all this.
Oh, and he's actually his lead man, Tom Cunningham. He could be one of the best senior sweepers I've seen. I couldn't see anybody move a rock like he did when we were playing against them. And every time they were carving on that outturn side, he was that guy going hard. So yeah. Should be an interesting game here today between Bryan and Cory.
Having said all that, of course, we have a wide open first end. They're dumping into the house, and Cochrane's just playing hits. No corner guards to be seen.
Well, Bryan, a school teacher from Ottawa. I know he's historically had vocal issues, and so he's the one sort of player in all the events that is allowed to use a whistle to call his teammates on and off. So it's a little different. It's interesting because the odd time when he's trying to yell down straight or curl, it's not very loud.
They had a 6-1. Team Cochran had a 6-1 record through the round robin. Their only loss was to Johnson in draw 4, and he beat Heggestad in a very close game, 5-4 in the very first draw. So a good week so far or a good half week, I guess, for Team Cochran with a 6-1 record. We'll keep an eye on the ice. Those 8-foot bands can be a little tricky. You get some rocks when you're throwing them down those 8-foot bands. They can curl. Some can kind of run on you. So we'll keep an eye out for how the ice is running. It looks like it has been wonderful from a speed perspective. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, obviously Scott Foster's done a remarkable job here this week. I think this is the best we've seen this ice here in a number of years. We were looking at about 4.5 to 5 feet, well, probably 5 feet of curl everywhere on the sheet, which is fun to play on. The speed-wise, it's probably been about 14.5 to 15.5. Like it gets really speedy out wide, and so it's been a treat to play on for all these players all week. Well, both teams kind of playing their cards close to the vest right now. There, Roscoe, just kind of going to the rings.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to kind of see when this does start to open up and both teams start to get a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think Cory will be able to stand this very long with the way he likes to have rocks in play.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we seem to have a technical timeout here.
Is that something happening with the clock, or do we have a leak from the building? You never know. A little tougher because we're removed from the situation and not seeing the ice directly here. We're seeing it through the monitor like everybody else. So I don't know what the issue is, but we'll get back to you on that.
No, there we go. Oh, there seems to be they're moving rocks around.
Oh, it's interesting when teams were matching rocks pre this game. Wondering if something if the ice maker might have put them back in their normal sets when they had selected stones from another sheet. So both teams do get the option prior to this game is actually selecting any rocks that they want of that one particular color, but they can take from any of the 4 sheets that they played on this week. It is an 8-sheet club, but we had the men play on 4 sheets only, and then the women played on the other 4. So it looks like they've got things straightened out.
Yeah, we should mention, I suppose, that on the women's side, we do have Mada and Stroud in the women's final. So we'll maybe try and keep a few updates on that as we go along.
Yeah, I think you can. I think we've got John Thompson over there announcing that game for us. So yeah, we will sort of try to keep everybody's party cued in anyway. So JP Lachance there hitting and rolling out. So I'm sure sometimes you get down to the hack and the rock isn't your actual rock. So sometimes the guys get a little bit rattled. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens here.
So Ian, what did you experience with the ice for first end? Was the speed good? Was the curl good? What was the general lay of the land from the ice perspective?
Oh, it was fantastic. I think we had our 7 minutes of practice time, and the speed got right up. By the time our last stone draw, it was 15 to 15 and a half seconds draw to the button, and then. And I think in the first end, it just kind of showed that, anytime it was a little bit tricky is that so many people are throwing draws from the wings towards center line that if you're actually going inside out, like throwing down center line, that path can get a little stiffer and it'll be a little tougher in the first end. But it only takes a few rocks for that to get broken down. So yeah, it was outstanding, Ross. Had a lot of fun up there.
Yep.
Well, this will be the one thing for both these teams. They're not what I would call Speedy Gonzalez out there. So I think maybe they're trying to bank some time playing this end in a clean end.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, just for everybody to know, they get 30 minutes of time. On their thinking time and 2 timeouts, and we'll keep an eye on the clock to see how they do make out as the game goes on.
The clocks are good. I think most of the games all week long. I think the longest game was one of the extra end games. I think it was about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, I think the clocks keep everybody honest with that thinking time. They end up being for 8 ends right around that 2-hour mark. So
got to keep things on time.
Yeah. Hello.
Just go somewhere where you can't. Just go tell John Thompson to not worry about commentary because we can't hear him at all.
Oh, okay.
He's just way too quiet. I've got Dave Schnell jumping in to take over, so
okay.
I found one of my local guys to take it.
Okay, cool.
Go let him know.
Okay, bye.
Thanks.
So we're just running up and down the sheet here in the first end. Maybe just everybody getting some nerves out. In the semifinal, Heggestad got off to a quick lead against Team Spencer. I got a 3 in the first end. And Team Spencer clawed their way back into the game. But then in 7, Team Heggestad took another 3 and kind of sealed the deal on that game. But tons of rocks in play in that game. And good fun and lots of good shots made.
Well, blank first end, Roscoe. Let's see if the boys will get into it this end.
Well, that was a 1 actually.
Oh, was that? Sorry. Sorry. I had to duck out. Oh God, here they go, trying to correct the
rock situation. Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate because that'd be a little bit unnerving, but it's incumbent on the teams to make sure before the game is started that they've got their correct stones. You're supposed to double check them prior to the game. So
it looks like they're swapping the rocks out for the ones that they had intended to use there. So they're allowing them to do that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm assuming so as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit of an oddity though too, because you know this at the Brier level or world level, once you've selected your stones, they're kind of set aside and all the other stones are taken away. So I think they've got one other stone actually that can be put into play, but that's only if a stone was broken.
Bryan making a call here to come into the top 4.
And then you know that Heggestad's going on the offense here, so
that would be his DNA for the week to do that. Yep, here we go. That was a corner.
Exciting week here all week long, Ross. Obviously, Bryan's team went through 6-1. Then there was a 3-way tie at second, and then based on the Spencer had beaten both the Tetley team and the Heggestad team, so he got second by that virtue. So then there was the tiebreaker last night between Tetley and Heggestad, and which was a finely played match.
It was one of the wildest starts first 2 ends to a game I've ever seen.
Yeah. Give up 4 and then take 4. So
yeah.
I was happy they only got 4. I think there was a possibility for 6 or so.
Yes. Well, and to the point, I mean, Heggestad's team made a bunch of really good shots in a row there, around a couple of long guards, and got you into trouble real quick. So it was just really well played on their behalf.
They are extremely sneaky. So I think even Spencer's team just played them in the semifinal game here. So and I think Spence was even taken aback by how many shots they made. Actually, Hager got a 3 against them in the first end, and then Adam Spencer fought his way back to bring that. He got ahead in that game, only to drop another 3 in the 7th end. So
yes, yeah. He seems to like his 3 ends. I guess it's like the old 3-run home run. If you can get 1 or 2 of those in a baseball game, you're in good shape.
Yeah, exactly. Well, some good shots here so far this end. Obviously, DJ setting up the corner and then making the nice double takeout. So I think Cory can, I guess that was Tom Cunningham making the double, and now he's going to start going to work here. Stefan Luzon going to try to make a little hit and flop here and behind the corner guard.
I've noticed that their control of their weight has been really good. They don't get too excited and throw too much weight. Their weights are down. They try and control it. They try and use the brooms, and they've been impressive with their ability to control the rock.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they didn't. Well, they got such good position early in the end, and it's sort of they put a lot of pressure on us by doing that. I know he got great position, and we weren't able to sort of follow up and sort of get that position back. So kudos to them. I think with this rollout here by Stefan, it's gonna allow Cory to. Jeff Clark rolling out. It's going to get Stefan the opportunity to go around his own corner.
Should say that Cory Heggestad was a Canadian mixed champion in 2013, and then lost the final again in 2014. So that's a few years ago, but he's obviously a talented, well-known talented player, and this is a good team he's got.
Well, there is another world champion curler that made his foray playing mixed first as well. Can you name that curler?
No.
Yeah. Jeff Stoughton.
Jeff Stoughton.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. So a little deep on that draw, but it is undercover. Cochran trying to draw down to it now.
Wow, this is perfect for Cory and his team, because he's getting Bryan to play deep in the corner, and if they're gonna probably be a bunch of little chaps and freezes and what have you, and the one team that sort of blinks first, I'm sure it may give Cory an opportunity to get to here. This is kind of there's no pressure in him playing around the corner, because even if he has to, he can always just draw to the 4-foot with his last. And he's a little heavy there, and there's a tap, and so this will give Cory a chance to get position once again.
Yeah, these slots going down the sheet, sort of inside out on the heading into the 8-foot, and these are typically very fast here in the second end at Oakville. The ice comes up to speed really quickly, and it's easy to be heavy down this spot in the ice.
I think that was one of the differences, like you and I being local curling club members here at the Oakville Curling Club, that going to the wings here, normally it doesn't curl that hard, but all week long here today. It's been going hard into these corners, and it's been a lot of fun because every shot is available to all these skips. They can get around. There's no straight spot out there.
Yeah, I think Cory's licking his lips right now. He's happy how this is all going.
Oh, very much so. Bryan right now, I think he's getting JP to try to come down, and he's got to try to tap this and try to release his backstone, but stay frozen to it. And once again, if he chaps off here, and which is looking a little hot right now, it's going to give Cory even a better chance to get more points.
Looks like red is 1-2. Looks like Cory wants to play the inside roll.
Yeah, he wants to sort of keep position in there, and he's set up right now for, this is building into a large end. Andrew Thompson here. It's looking good. They're trying to go hard on it. Oh. Oh. Perfect.
Very nice. Very nice.
The only problem is that tough to get to that back red one now. He may have rolled maybe a stone too far. Roscoe, you're a veteran of the provincial seniors as well. How many times have you been here?
Oh, I don't know. When you get to a certain age, you kind of forget. But a few times, and always good fun. It's funny. I was thinking back. I was watching the game earlier, and Team Spencer and Heggestad were having a lot of fun out there. They were. you hardly would believe that it was a provincial semifinal, and they were having a lot of laughs, and that's what it's all about. At this point, it's having some fun. This might be a little heavy, or no?
Oh, Bryan. Oh, geez, yeah. Even that little space is, what? Cory's gonna make them pay here. And there might even be a chance to even graze the red on the way by. Yeah, at this level, I think the players recognize that it's important. The journey is just as much as fun as the competitive nature of the games, right? They want to make sure that they enjoy themselves because we are seniors after all.
So this will be all about the weight here. Just enough to move that rock back. Perhaps get a little roll inside underneath the guard.
First rock here for Cory Heggestad in the second end of play. Bryan Cochrane currently with a 1-0 lead. This one's tight. They are going really hard. I think he's going to hit. Ooh, this is the bailout that I think Bryan was looking for. That's a rare miss by Cory. This is going to give Bryan a chance to get a second one in around that center guard and nullify the big end. He might have his stealing hat on here now, Ross. So I'd like to, let our viewers know that, Ross, you are by far the most famous curler ever. Like, I don't know many movie star curlers. You might be the only person I know that is also a movie star.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Okay. Movie star. Yeah. Or just an extra in a really old movie. That was that was a long time ago.
Now, what year was that? So this was Ross was obviously the character Penrose in the famous movie Men with Brooms.
The movie came out. I think it was 2003.
2003. Obviously starring Leslie Nielsen, the Tragically Hip. Who were some of the other famous?
Paul Gross.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So he's way by the guard here. This didn't curl anywhere near as much as he was hoping.
But in a really good spot, because obviously for Cory, he can't nose it and get shot, Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He may have to play that in-turn draw or just a little in-turn flip inside here. Unfortunately, we don't have microphones on the players that we could have listened to his thought process, but it sounds like and it looks like he's probably going to throw a nice control weight here and make sure that he can try to hold this stone and make that little hit and roll of the forefoot and get a bigger piece of the forefoot than Cochran currently has and get his single point.
Yeah, I assumed that Bryan was trying to get around behind the guard, but he may have played that particular shot. That may be exactly what he intended to do there. Was leave that rock exactly where it is. And this is
really close.
Yeah, he should be able to get.
No, is he going to get there? Nope. Going to get steal a 1 point for Bryan Cochrane, and he will take a 2-0 lead going into the third end of play. It's amazing how that one missed shot by Cory and because he ended up rolling for a center guard, just changed the whole view of that end.
Yep. Yeah, he was in good shape, and then he wasn't.
He wasn't.
So I would imagine that we'll see some more rocks in play now that Cory's down a couple.
Yeah, I think I think he'll probably go full offense again. He's not going to really change his tactics that much. He'd like to try to draw Bryan into that offensive game, but Bryan's not going to. He doesn't want to get into that game if he doesn't have to.
In the women's game, Team Mada took 2 in the first end against Stroud, so we'll keep an eye on that. This is going to stop. Perfect. Yeah, I was looking at some of Bryan Cochrane's history earlier today, and I had forgotten about the situation where he and his guys went and represented, played down in PEI and won the PEI right to go to the Brier from PEI. That was back in 2020, I guess. So I'd forgotten that little tidbit. So yeah, 2 times to the Brier, 2003 from Ontario, and then 2020 out of PEI.
Yeah, it's amazing how some of the birthright rules and import rules sort of allowed these players to start doing that. And I guess that can be debated whether it was in the best interest of curling or in the worst interest of curling. I think people kind of like some of the territorial boundaries, but I guess from the elite perspective, it's they don't really like it. The elite teams love the minimal territory or boundaries, but I think that everyday sort of B-level guy hated all that, because then you had things like that of Bryan Cochrane going back to PEI and getting a spot out of there.
Well, it's like it's a tough situation that Curling Canada's in. You want your best teams to be in the events, so they've really made a bunch of rules that allow the best teams, no matter where they are, more or less, to play together. But at the same time, that old magic, the Brier and Scotty's magic, where you represented your province, is kind of diluted a little bit. So it's just different. It's not that it's bad necessarily. It is what it is. Nice run and roll there by Team Cochran.
So Cory's just going to ignore that and just sort of come around the center guard and, use that for his protection. Good looking shot here coming from Stefan. Geez, and Brian's just going to play the same run back. See if Jeff Clark can make this. Jeff Clark's he'd be one of the junior seniors out there that can throw it really hard and accurate, which does seem to make a difference in this game.
Well, he missed that one, but they'll be happy with that. Yeah, it's the old, are you a junior, a new senior? Or are you an old senior? Or are you a master's pretending to be a senior? It's like...
Actually, what I loved about this event is that the parity amongst the teams was fantastic. Yeah. You kind of knew in any given game that either team could win, and it was just who sort of executed well in that particular game. So it was a lot of fun playing these guys, and Ontario is actually in a really good place right now in senior curling. We've had a lot of players play the game, and here they are. They've aged out. They're into the senior ranks now, and you're starting to see a lot of the old faces that we used to play 20 and 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So JP Lachance here going to try to make the intern double here to nullify any offense that Cory has mounted here. He's looking a little tight here.
Fairly thin double. Yeah, he'd be happy with a hit and roll probably.
Oh. Doesn't quite get shot, Stone.
Cory opting to play the guard here. He could come down, he could come down and freeze in that pocket, but...
Yeah, tough. If you didn't get there, the perfect angle there, it would be, he could just sort of lose, Bryan would just walk up there and probably throw a high, hard double takeout and get rid of both of them. So he's going to kind of play the odds. Looks like throw a guard. And this looks like it could be the Mike Harris golden rule, though, is that You know, nothing ever good comes of guarding your opponent's stone.
Coming a little deeper than they were hoping.
Yeah, so this is definitely going to give JP LeChance here an opportunity to run this through, make the double. But he doesn't want to hit it a little high and end up crotching his own two reds out.
They're not sure.
Cochran team representing the Russell Curling Club just outside of Ottawa. Cory Heggestad's team representing the Stroud Curling Club just south of Barrie.
GP just wanted to take a look at it to make sure he knew what he was dealing with, I guess. Big shot in the end. Right up his alley, though.
This is looking
a little wider.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Well, did he get shot? I think he might have got shot out of that.
They are shot, yeah, and they're pretty solidly in there.
Yep.
If Cory just knows that, he looks like he's playing just a tap, something quiet, back line. It's going to curl a bit.
Good looking shot. Doesn't quite get shot there.
But he does release it. So he will have a chance to get it out if Bryan makes a mistake of some kind.
Well, I think Bryan's got to be really careful here. He might be able to make a double, possibly even a triple, because I know his red looks like it's going to angle back directly on the other Heggestad stone here. I think Bryan would be thrilled if he could get two of those stones gone. Actually, Bryan's team had one of the higher steals against. They had 8 steals against for 27% of their ends played. 11 single points for and 10 multiple point ends. Oh, geez. I don't think he'll be happy with that throw. This is going to give Cory an opportunity to hit and lay. Well, no. Yeah.
I think he'd have to hit it on the left side of center in order for it to drag by that back rock, unless it might just get by. But
actually, if you play a quiet weight, he may just sort of graze off and get it by.
yeah, the numbers are interesting. Heggestad being sort of like a big end team, like a team that scored big ends, and Cochran much sort of, I guess I'll call it a much more even profile, if you will. They did score a lot of two ends. As you said, I think it was 10 two ends, but they didn't have as many big ends, but just maybe more just a steady scoring as opposed to big ends.
Yeah, it's always interesting, sort of, for the coaches to sort of sit back after the fact and sort of dissect the data and kind of derive, whatever they want to sort of derive from those numbers.
But neither team are blank machines. we said before, Heggestad had no blanks during the competition, and Bryan Cochrane only had one. So obviously comfortable with playing with rocks in play.
Yeah. Actually, it was hard to believe that probably the biggest drawer in the competition was Bob Armstrong from Ingersoll, and they had 3 blank ends all week, and that was tied for the highest.
Okay, let's see how he makes out here. Line looks pretty good. Curling a bit more than they wanted, perhaps, but does get the red one out.
By losing his shooter as well.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to give Bryan once again the opportunity to get out of this end. Actually, this will be a couple ends in a row where Cory's had things going his way, and he has his first stone. I might be questioning his first stone at this point. Actually, that thing curled hard, and if you recall last end as well, it curled really hard. So
yes,
if I was a player on his team, I would be definitely taking note of that.
Yeah. So Bryan probably hoping for the double here. A little wobble, little senior wobble there.
He's really close here. They're going to try to curl it a bit. Just no, he's not, just missed. Well, this is going to give Cory the opportunity to make the hit and stick, and hopefully actually tie this game back up.
Yeah, interesting. He's chosen the other turn.
Yeah, for himself, yes. Well, it's a similar in turn that he threw with his last stone, the last end, almost in the identical spot, but obviously a different direction. Cory with the in-turn hit here. Good looking shot coming down here. Yep. Bang on.
Yeah, very
2
nice.
points, and got a tie game here, Ross.
We got a game. Well, I'm just using the website as everybody else would, and they haven't posted past the first end yet. So the answer to that would be no.
Oh.
Nice tight guard there. We do have an update. We have a blank end in 2, so it's still 2-0 Mida. Playing 3.
God, this could be a first. The men's game ahead of the women's game.
Yeah, Bryan has had a stellar senior career. 2000, I think I mentioned earlier, 2016, 2018 champ, Canadian champ, silver medal in 2017, and then a gold medal in 2019 at the Worlds. So a solid set of outcomes there.
Well, it's always easier once you've been through it, and I think his team has changed since that time, Ross.
Yes, they have. I know Greg McCauley was playing third at that time. I'm actually blanking on who the front end was, but I think the team is turned over. Yeah, completely.
He had Eddie McKenzie and Jeremy McCauley back. I'm assuming back then.
Nice shot there.
Oh, here we go. They're getting into it again. Cory was one of these guys. He was very, very patient out there. He sort of took his time, but he loved to throw guards. He'd get one rock in there and just throw the guard. It was kind of like, old Ross Howard style of play.
Yeah, he doesn't take all that much time to decide either. He kind of moves briskly, makes his decision, and goes with it. Good looking guard here. Bryan's trying to decide how to tackle this, whether he starts killing guards or whether he gets some more rocks in the house.
That's the beauty of our great game of chess on ice here.
Looks like he's going to try and drive that yellow one back onto the red.
He might be able to just clip it, actually. The angles are really interesting. So he might even, worst case scenario, he might be able to just even hit onto the flop onto the rings and have another rock in the rings. But no, he's just going to pass by.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I noticed during the Olympics, Team Jacobs playing that shot, sort of a quiet shot to hit a guard and try and roll onto the rings. They played that quite a few times. might be something that guys are going to attempt more in the future. That kind of thing. Just sort of ups the ante a little bit, you get another rock on the rings.
Well, I think even Bruce Mowat's team, so the number one team in the world is, I think they practice that shot a lot. Like, it's even amazing how, they were tapping around corner guards just because they weren't sort of quite as happy as where that corner guard was situated. So they try to put it into a more difficult location for the opposition and then flop their stone into the rings as well. So,
right. Of course, when you have that kind of sweeping and control of the stone, it's easy to do, or easier to do.
Exactly. God, I'd give my eye teeth for that kind of sweeping. Yeah, Cory continues to be very patient here to throw out the center guards, and Bryan's just going to sort of hopefully wait for a little miscue here.
Tricky ice sometimes, Oakville, to throw a good guard on, because you get so much late break with the rocks. It's easy to have a rock over curl just in the last couple of feet, so it's not the easiest shot in the world. This looks pretty good.
Tom Cunningham, he's such a powerful sweeper. Actually, he could be one of the best in the game. Well, Bryan's going to take a different tactic here and try to make the double peel. And in the women's game, Susan Stroud just drew to the 4-foot for a single point. She will trail Sherry Madaw 2-1. Oh,
we got the
great double peel, and he got the action into the rings and brought play into the house now. So, well, Bryan will be a little happier about that.
However, if Heggestad can split these rocks up a little bit, he could get a force, which will be good. This is looking.
Yeah, they're like
nose-ish.
Yeah, that should give Bryan with JP here to the opportunity to double those out and nullify this end. If he can make the double, so this is kind of one of the strange things for parts for Cory, because now Cory, because if he makes the double here, then Cory becomes kind of vulnerable, because he's probably just going to nose the rock and stay in play, and then it gives Bryan the free run to try to make the hit and roll behind the corner guard.
Yep. It's looking good.
JP, good looking shot. Yeah, they're going hard.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, well, he gets them both, which was job number one. I guess Cory can be considered a junior senior, can he not, Roscoe? He's
I don't actually know how old he is, but
well, he's a young guy. He's only like 53.
looks. Oh, jeez. I got socks that old.
Interesting. Like when he skipped. In the mixed, he had Greg Ballston playing for him. Ballsy's also skipped in the Brier too. So, great team that was.
Solid team. Yep.
It's amazing that he ended up losing that year in the mixed final too. When the year he lost, it was to Darren Molding.
Yes.
So I think this gives Bryan a free run right now if he wants to try to hit, roll, and get him behind the corner and force Cory to try to chase him. And or he may just usually on the even ends the teams kind of like to score.
Yeah.
But if he rolls out
doesn't
here,
want to roll out, Cory can. So do you go around now and try and get your force?
Well, I know I sure would, especially on an even end, right? Yeah, I think you totally want to sort of take that away from him, force him to take his point here.
Yep. Played this spot a bunch of times. Should know it.
Yeah, 2 ends ago, all the play was down in this corner. So, yeah, I expect Cory to be very close here. Even if he gets it half buried or what have you, and forces Bryan to kind of chase it to try to blank the end.
Yep. Line looks good. They're sweeping vigorously.
I'm not sure he's going to get that there. Is he going to get it there? Usually you're getting out to the really good pebble out there. So it's
just a little short, I think. Yeah,
just a little short. Well, I know Bryan Cochrane will appreciate that. He doesn't have to chase anything, and he will throw this thing through the rings and take the blank in and move on to end number 5. They will be tied at 2. They'll get a chance to have their little 5th end break, and for seniors, that's an important P time.
4th end.
4th end breaks. Yes.
That's what those 8-foot slots will do to you. You're so afraid of throwing it through. It's going to be quick. And then you pull the string and you end up coming up short.
Yeah. Well, that saves some time. Obviously, that end was played fairly quickly, too. Like the men's game here is.
They're in great shape for time.
Yeah. The women only part way through their 4th end. Looks like they've been getting into it every end.
So it looks like they're gonna have a little break. So maybe we should too, Ted.
Okay. Well, we'll be back in 5.
See you in a few minutes.
And the gentlemen are just coming back here now to start the fifth end of play here in the 2026 Ontario Senior Men's Provincial Playdowns. Ottawa's Bryan Cochrane versus Barrie's Cory Heggestad. Tom Cunningham here going to lead us off in the fifth end. Roscoe over there in the women's game. Sherry Madaw just picked up another 2 points to jump out to a 4-1 lead. Obviously, these guys are all these teams have been playing the free guard zone no tick rule as part of international play. So any stones touching the center line cannot be removed from the center line until the sixth stone or sixth rock of the end.
Maybe just to recap the scoring from the first half of the game, Bryan Cochrane took 1 in the first end and stole 1 in the second end to go up 2-0. Cory Heggestad took a 2 count, took 2 points in the third end, and the fourth end was blank. So we're at 2-2 right now. For those of you who aren't familiar with that style of scoreboard that's at the end of the rink there, it's a typical curling club scoreboard. A little bit hard for people who don't know the game or aren't familiar with the game too much to decipher, but we'll try and update you as much as we can.
Obviously, an event of this magnitude doesn't sort of run itself. They've had a great committee here all this week, and a big shout out to our major sponsors, Mr. Sub. I know the players have just loved having food available to them pre and post game. So thank you to Mr. Sub and for being a big part of this event. Accessibility is another local company that services the senior community with everything from wheelchairs to strollers to toilet seats, you name it. They've got it all. The King's Arms, which is a local watering hole down here in the town of Oakville, and to Piper's Heath Golf Course. So big shout out to all those partners that we've had this week. Just wanted to say thank you from on behalf of the Oakville Curling Club. Amazing. You get one rock in there, and and you don't quite get angle or positioning with your the other stone. That all of a sudden, here's Cory looking at 2 Cochran stones, trying to get Steph on to make a double here, or even just a quiet nose hit.
Well, we'll keep an eye on this. I mean, the first 4 ends of the game, there were some rocks in play, but certainly not Heggestad caliber rocks in play. The kind of mess that he's been dealing with in a number of his games. So, and I'm sure that some of that is what Bryan's trying to achieve here. He doesn't want to get into anything too complicated. So the ends themselves have been simpler. We'll see if that changes as the game goes on.
Well, and I think what he's asking his team here, though, too, is that, look, do we want to get into the middle? Because if we go around the center here, he's just going to chase, and we don't want to do that. I fully expect Bryan to almost draw to the wing here. He's just going to say, okay, Cory, you make your move, and then I'll chase you if you decide to go around the center.
Whatever they've decided, they've made the decision.
I fully expect that he would probably get Jeff Clark to. Oh, is he going to walk up and peel the center stone? Heaven forbid. No. Oh. He is going to play this simple. I think this is where he's trying to take the odd end, and if he can get out of this end with a blank, and then he's going to try to score in 6. It's with the thinking being that if he can score in 6, and that he'll have 2 opportunities to score, having the hammer in probably 2 of the ends, either 6 or 8. Sort of the rationale that he's thinking of.
Sounds like they have a good analytics department that have said that Team Heggestad likes rocks in play, so don't do that.
Well, they're just going to be patient here, and this is a bit of the cat and mouse in this game, because at some point, I know that because the rocks are so close together, Bryan thinks that as soon as he ends up hitting his own onto, or Cory hitting his own stone onto Bryan's rock, that they're going to be fairly close together. He'll have a chance to make a double. Well, okay. Oh, best laid plans go to sometimes go away.
Never mind.
Yes. This actually happened to me this week too. We thought we would blank the 7th end of a game until we nosed the peel. Stuff happens in senior curling.
Yep. Well, and once again, that threw that a little straighter than he wanted, and you get the rocks a little bit up and out on this ice, and it's unforgiving. It won't come back for you.
Wow, this just opens up the door for Cory Heggestad's team with Andrew Thompson here to throw the intern draw around, and I'm sure he would like to sort of get these 2 side by each. If he goes too deep, it's going to give a double for Bryan. Well, once again, now the door changes again. I think Bryan's going to have to draw here, because I think even if he makes the double, he's going to leave the center guard, and they're just going to draw around that. So.
Yeah, he seems quite happy to keep it simple.
But I think you're right, Ross. I think his analytics department has said to him, like, look, don't bite here. Like, every time you bite, that's exactly what he wants, because he wants to get into that draw freeze game. And well, he took my team down twice. He's looking good, real close here.
So there you go. That's what you said would happen. But now Cory's got a couple of rocks to come around.
Yeah. Well, JP LeJont's almost getting that out. Mind you, I think he has shot stone, right? So he's got 2 options here. He can draw around center, but if you do that, Bryan, it's going to give Bryan the chance to run his own guard straight back. He might be better served if he's looking to force him to a single point here to hit and roll.
Playing the draw, looks like.
Both teams looking like they're managing their time quite well here. Usually it takes about 4 minutes per end. And here we are playing the 5th end, and they're right around that 16 and 17 minute mark.
Yeah, they're in good shape. really been impressed. I've watched Andrew Thompson in a couple of games, and his weight control has been really spot on in the last, and from what I saw, from what I've seen. Nice draw there.
So this ends up being this is a big shot for JP. If he runs this straight back and stuffs it, now there's a big end on for Cochran's team. So I think he's looking real close here.
Real close. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna pop out. Wow.
Is it gonna stay in play?
Ooh.
Try it. Ooh. I don't know who is second shot. Jeez.
I think it's too red. My eyeball says too red, but
Can you get that GM at your club there to widen that camera angle a little bit?
I'm not going to mention a thing. I don't want him to go off on me.
Cory's going to continue with drawing against two here, so he's kind of pushing all in here, and he's kind of he's flirting here, in my opinion, considering it's a tie game.
You'd think he might have thought about going around the other turn to get around the yellow one, so that at least the straight back would be on an angle, you know.
Well, I think the only challenge I look at this now is that if Bryan stuffs this, then Cory's going to have to freeze to kill the sort of negate the other two rocks that are in the 12-foot, and then Bryan's going to have the in-turn draw for two. That's if he makes this straight back.
Yep.
Interesting. He's not throwing this too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
He's really close here, really close.
Perfect.
Oh,
very nice.
Well executed. There's a good team shot right there. He didn't. That wasn't a missile of any. It was just almost like an easy control weight. Well, that's probably why he's a world champion in the senior men's before.
Yeah, so Cory now trying to draw, I guess, just down to that rock to minimize the scoring area, as they say.
Well, I bet this is the if you ever chap off here, it may bring in 4 into play for Bryan's team. Actually, he looks a little wide here, like Tommy the Carver.
Good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's just going to get Bryan
the draw for 2.
Geez, could he almost play the exact same shot again and have a catcher over there on the left-hand side for his shooter if he ran his red straight back?
You could do that.
You'd have to have massive cojones to try it, but I think the old saying, eh? Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered.
Is that really a saying? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just talking about the speed.
Yeah. Obviously, DJ and Jeff are relaying sort of the updated info. They probably timed Cory's last stone and hope he got a time for him. On off, but it's staying out there. So sometimes when it stays out there, it's a little keener, but they're both back on it. This looks pretty good. There's 2 points there for Bryan Cochrane. So Bryan will take a 4-2 lead going into the 6th end of play. Cory Heggestad's team will have the hammer to start mounting their comeback.
The women's game showing 4-1 after the 4 ends. Not wasting any time here between ends. They're getting in the hack and getting going quick.
Well, they are given 1 minute between ends, and usually if you've just, the front end is just swept one end to end and they're exhausted, they usually take advantage of that 1 minute between ends. Mm-hmm. But I guess the fact that they only swept that stone sort of partially down the ice, that it was pretty easy, that they're ready to go right away.
So here we go with another corner guard. I'm trying to remember. There's been a tremendous amount of play on the left-hand side of the sheet here. Like the corner guards have all been over here. I don't specifically remember one on the other side of the sheet. So I guess he's choosing to play the side that he knows. Oh, better get there.
Oh, could be the first round.
Yeah. Oh, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh dear. Free drinks all around. Yeah, interesting. Like you sometimes you just like to play the devil, and because he's had multiple ends set up around that one corner guard. So there's no reason to play around the other side. But what I did notice about playing that team, that with Tom being so strong and really being able to carve the stone, I think it's easier if they go around on out turns, because then he's always the one on the outside doing the carving.
Right.
So, and I'm sure that's sort of part of their game plan. Interesting scenario with Bryan going with the tight guard here, and Cory's just going to go back and throw up another corner guard.
It looked to me like Bryan's call was to come in right on top of the other one, but it ended up being short, so they're going with it. Geez, this isn't exactly heavy again, is it?
Yeah. Well, sometimes sometimes as the game progresses here, we do know that the 4-foot path tends to flatten out a little bit, especially, these guys have done a lot of sweeping on this ice, and if the thrower throws a little bit of a soft, lazy handle, they do tail off and they will lose their speed a lot easier than someone that throws a lot of rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking with Tom the other day, I was lamenting that just watching him slide makes my knees ache.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was wondering if he was a Manitoba Tucker, if he learned it there, or if it was down in the U.S. And he said no, he's from up in the Orangeville, Shelburne area. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about as tucky as you get.
Yeah. Bryan, I don't think they're trying to get another one in here.
Shot there.
Yeah, really good shot.
Now Cory has to make some rocks move.
Well, his challenge here is that if he peels this and if his shooter rolls off, I expect Bryan will walk up and peel the corner guard.
Yep.
This is looking, well.
That's good. That's
Well, he
okay.
gets one of them.
Yep.
Actually, the best part about that for him is that he got one and he kept his shooter in play. So The struggle now for Bryan is, do you play that one, or do you come around out on the out turn, make a draw? But then if you do that, he's probably going to have some sort of double and hit and roll behind the corner guard. Jeff Clark here going to try to play a lightweight hit and roll back in front of his own stone.
People might have noticed that JP and DJ have been switching sides when they're sweeping from time to time. I'm assuming that that's because they want DJ on the straight side.
Yeah, pinning the shot. A lot of teams will do that. If one team if they've got a sweeper that is very, very strong. I know John Schuster's team in the U.S. Matt Hamilton, who one of his front end players, and his newest player, I can't remember his name. The newest player sweeps most of them on the carve, but if they're looking for the rock to go further, Matt will sweep, and it's always the person that's closest to the rock has got the major influence on the stone. So in all their testing that they've done is that they find that Matt Hamilton carries the rock further, but the other gentleman does a much better job carving the stone.
Right.
So Cory's team coming up short here again. He won't be happy with that. Obviously, I don't know if there's changing ice conditions out there right now, or if they're just kind of not giving it its due weight. So now I think you're going to see Bryan change gears here and try to get another stone in play.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, we are into the sixth end, and the ice could be slowing down a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
So the only challenge with this call is that a lot of times even he doesn't really care where he puts this stone, because then Cory's going to walk up and try to play the hit and roll on the rock on the top 8 foot. And he's got a double stacked corner now that he's got 2 rocks to roll behind. So I think everybody's taking different visual cues from what's just happened.
So he's deep in the house now, so it allows Cory to make an attempt around the corner guard and get second shot, maybe probably not shot, but to get it buried, be second shot back there, which you'll be happy with. Let's see what happens with the speed down here.
Well, the challenge right now for Cory is that if he doesn't get shot stone here, buried behind the corner, I think that you might see Bryan walk up and throw up a tight guard. And now they've thrown it deep. Well, it is second shot.
Second shot.
He's probably gonna draw down to it just to try to nullify it.
This is that spot that can be quick on the sheet, those little 8-foot racetracks.
Well, it's quick starting here. And once you sort of get off that 4-foot path, well, this looks like it's going to come in and tap that back. That's a great shot.
Yep.
JP kind of making that unassisted. Didn't look like it needed any sweeping help.
Sweeper's dream.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try the same thing. He's going to try and go around that corner. Oh, they're going to time out.
Well, it's late in the end to change your tactics now. I think he's going to have to try to freeze down there. Problem is that well, actually, yes, if he freezes directly on that thing, he will be shot stone, and that will force Bryan to sort of probably come down there again.
The other option is to try and draw around the one that's at the top 8.
Yeah, definitely treat it as a guard.
Try and maybe get an angle that would jam if they tried to do the short run.
Interesting. This is where I was always adamant about my team when we're having a timeout, not to stand there in the middle of the ice, because all of a sudden, if your feet are a little bit warm, you leave footprints or some sort of little frost mark, and it a rock can easily pick from that.
Right. Well, that's deep thinking. That's why you've won 3 worlds, I guess.
Well, it's just common sense, but sometimes it's not that common.
So his options are to go around the one at the top 8, or to try and put it there where he's indicated, which would give him shot rock, and if he makes a good one, it'd be tough to get out.
I agree, Ross. I think you freeze the corner. He's got to make the perfect freeze once again, right? And if he comes down, if he chaps off, it may give you a chance to at least get your 2 back to tie up the game. I think a lot of teams now, it's interesting. If you can tie the game in the 6th end, the 7th end becomes this real pivotal end. And I think we noticed watching the Brier and the Olympics that all the top teams, like, they all want the hammer playing the 8th end, and they're happy to relinquish a point rather easily sometimes in the 7th end just to make sure that they've got the hammer in the 8th.
Right.
So for a team like Heggestad, who is vulnerable right now in my eyes, just because they're down 2, if they got 2 here to tie it back up, they could easily force and easily steal a point in that 7th end.
Mine looks pretty good. Maybe going to over curl a bit.
Is it there? Well, it looks like a shot.
He's not going to be to it, but You can see a little bit of that rock poking out from behind the guard, it looks like. Maybe you can see about a third of it.
Yeah, I think Brian's going to try to dig it out.
(4-2) after 5 in the women's game for Madaw. Stroud gets her 1 and 5. Looks like they're going to play hack. The universal call for hack is the touching of the hip.
Well, sometimes that's bumper, though.
Well, for an old guy like me, that's the same thing.
Senior bumper, okay. Yeah, Brian going to throw the out turn, sort of probably hack to board weight, and looks like they're going hard on it. Oh, no, he's going to make this for fun. Actually, they could roll it to center line, though, too.
To the center. Yep. Yep.
And make
very nice. Very nice.
An excellent shot. Excellent shot by Bryan Cochrane. Cochran team now laying 4 here in the 6th end of play, and they've already have a 2-point lead.
So here's the question. Can you throw an in-turn draw down there and just freeze to that, or just tap it a foot? Is there enough room? Is there enough room?
I would venture to say no.
So he probably has to hit it and roll back over to where he was.
Correct. Yeah, I think so.
They're just indicating just tap it back, perhaps. Try and build a wall.
I still think this is a pretty tough shot that he's, with hack weight, could he get in there and tap it? Yeah, possibly could. Taking his time, trying to get his thought process in order here with weight, and sort of visually draw that line as to how this shot's going to work out.
It's curling.
Yeah, it's curling hard. I think he's late too.
Okay.
Wow. I think he hung on for second shot stone.
Yep.
It might be interesting. You might see I think you might see Bryan Cochrane just come down and tap his rock in the top of the 12-foot, probably about 6 inches or a foot, just to make sure it's second shot stone, and then stay right in front of his rock on the button.
They're calling a timeout. And they're having their conversation in the middle of the sheet again. Contrary to the Tetley rule. Yeah, so tap, if you have to be careful, tap that red one up, that you don't set up some sort of a double.
he may even just corner freeze it. Like he can do there's a lot of different options available to Bryan here. He could even just throw a straight guard on that side, and if Cory tried to play a double, the angles sort of kind of show that the double would go back into his stone. That is second shot stone at the moment.
Super defensive call would be to just hit that red or the yellow one. That is second shot.
Yeah, well, but he definitely would force them, right? So,
yep,
would put him in a really good position going into the seventh end of play.
Yep. He may be worried about the jam there, but I think if you hit the stone about a third of a rock or so, you'd be okay. Looks like maybe they're going to take your suggestion.
Well, I think this is a smart call as long as he doesn't sort of tap it in the either across the face or too much on the high side, right? I think if he tapped it even across the face and to past the tee line, I think he'd be fine. Even if he tapped it, he's just got to tap it even 6 inches, 2 inches, to make sure you get second shot out of it. And if he does that, the most Cory will have an opportunity for is for 1 point. Bryan's out-turn tap here. They don't seem too alarmed yet. Looks like it's got to curl. Needs to curl up a bit.
Hanging a bit, yeah.
Does it have the weight? Jeez, don't tap it out in the open. He's trying to carve it. That's a pretty good shot. Actually kind of Christmas treed them a little bit. So Cory's going to have to be careful here. He had a similar shot in this spot in the second end.
Delicate little shot.
Well, yeah, because he can't. Obviously, he's got to stay basically into or close to the 4 foot to score his single point against 2 Cochran stones. And just the fact that the edges are kind of lined up, it kind of plays games with the thrower's eyes, because there's something in the way. It's not plain and simple. So just that little thought process in the back of his head. Sometimes you pump up the weight a little bit and you hit and roll too far. Sometimes you actually just soft it in and you end up getting a thin tick. This looks really nice at the moment.
Looks very good.
It's going to hang around.
Well done. Well done.
Well executed shot there by Cory Heggestad for a single point in the 6th end of play. We will have Bryan Cochrane with a 1 point lead going into the 7th end.
And I just noticed it only took 6 ends, but I just noticed that Cory is still a lifter, one of the few lifters remaining in the out there. Although I did notice the other day that you lift still on your hits, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I lifted my whole career, but it seems weird throwing a hit without lifting.
5-2 now in the women's game after 6. Middaugh scores 1 in 6 to go up 5-2. 2 ends left there.
Well, it's kind of paramount now for Cory's team to throw the guards on the center line, and here is a massive mistake, drifting into the rings.
Yeah, that shot is a bit of a killer. He'll have another crack at it, but
well, the problem is that Cochran's team, they want the play in the rings, right? So so now that it'll, by him not rolling off, this will give Cory an opportunity to put a guard on the center line, and all of a sudden we might see the play into the middle. This might be exactly what Cory's looking for. Oh dear, is this sliding deep as well? You might freeze to it perfectly, but not in the rings. Oh, okay.
Perfect.
That's interesting.
Okay, so you're down, Cory, you're down 1. You've got the other team has last rock, and what are you thinking? What are you trying to achieve here with this end?
Well, I think for Bryan Cochrane, I think he's making sure, like, one, definitely have to score or blank the end. Like his perfect scenario is being, one up coming home with last rock. I think he would dearly love to have that. If he could score 2 or more here and put the game away, that's a possibility. But he doesn't want to. He's going to try to minimize his risk to do that.
Yep.
I think from Cory Heggestad's standpoint, I think you're trying to hold the opposition to 1, and definitely not 2, and or steal 1 point. If you could get the game back to tied, playing the last end, he's tied without. It's not the best position, but at least there's a chance.
Well, he's throwing a double center here. At least that was the indication. So early indications are he's going to go for a steal. Seem to be having a little trouble with the. Looks like Heggestad threw the center and it was peeled away. So they will keep throwing the center for a while.
Yeah, I think at this point, Bryan doesn't want to get forced. Andrew Thompson here.
There we go. Yeah, I would guess that Cory will keep throwing this guard. His last shot would be to play the in-turn draw around.
Well, I think that's he at some point in here you're going to see Bryan like I wouldn't be well. He's going to peel here. I'm surprised at this. I think you'd like to get in there because I would think that with Andrew's last rock of the stone or the end, that Cory's team will actually go on the offense here. They'll go in. I don't think they'll throw another guard. Well,
looks like they are.
I am sadly mistaken.
So yeah, the decision now comes down to Bryan Cochrane, what he wants to do with his first.
Well, and what would you do? Is my question.
Well, this is
like if this
way
corner freezes the rock on the 12-foot, which it looks like it's going to, it's sort of taken away its that outturn draws, and that almost looks like it's lined up. So I think Bryan's going to take a chance on whipping this, and hopefully he gets all three.
Yeah.
And then his blank will be alive.
The only other alternative is to try and go around yourself first. But actually, this is still JP's shot. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, JP's got one more. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to try and clean it up.
I think this is going to have some heat. Probably looking for a 7-second peel if he can throw it that hard, which looks pretty good right now. Oh,
very nice.
Even better. So by dropping 2, it's not the end of the game. You'd be definitely extremely vulnerable, but you know, you know, the way Cory's played this all of this week, you know, I think he'll probably he might go around.
Looks like he's going to try and make the double.
Well, you'd have to cross the face here, huh? Is he going to get there? Not quite. Oh, this is very interesting now. Interesting for Bryan because he doesn't want to make a shot for him, but I think he'll try to hit that ball and try to, if he can get his deuce here, try to get an easy deuce. Well, it'd be up to Cory whether he would try to freeze on that rock on the 4-foot, trying to force him to only a single point, or maybe even still steal. But
could just peel this out. Looks like some kind of control weight.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to hold it. Oh, makes a good shot. Probably going to give Cory the chance to play the hit and roll back underneath his stone. Well, this is the time in the game where, you know, everybody starts getting a little bit itchy. I fully expect Cory to make he'll be really close at making this hit and roll perfectly. He's got good control weight, and then if it needs to be carved, Tommy the carver there we'll get that over there.
Yeah, to me, the best thing to do would be to hit and roll and just leave a little piece showing maybe on the center line side. Oh, looks like he's going to be not quite get to the nose even.
Yeah, I think he overthrew that. It's unfortunate, you know. But when the nerves start to set in a little bit, the tendencies are to overthrow it, especially on hits. So really important for Bryan here to sort of stay cool and focused and get that second point here. It'll give him a 3-point lead going into the final end.
Ooh, it's going to curl up a bit.
Oh, geez. Another major error. Wow. Bryan Cochrane.
I think Cory's a happy guy, I think.
Wow. Bryan Cochrane's going to have to settle for a single point and a 2-point lead going into the final end. But as we've seen, I think Cory Heggestad and his team have had a couple of opportunities to get some threes. Well, if he's the king of the multiple score ends this week, this is definitely going to be a great final end.
Yep. Yeah, that rock was sitting sort of just in that 4 foot to 8 foot band out there, and that's where you see sometimes the rocks will track. I don't know how Bryan threw it, but it's not a huge surprise that the rock down that spot would just track a bit. Working on this hard to get it into the house. Here we go.
Well, regardless if it's in the rings or not, you kind of knew that Cory was going to throw up that corner guard once again. Tom Cunningham here with his first stone of the 8th end. It's really important for your lead not to slip into the rings here. Sometimes it can deflate the team.
Very good.
Very well done.
Once again, the corner guard on the same side. No surprises. So they'll try and get this one top 4, I would think, just around that one if they can.
Yeah, DJ, if he can get it by. Oh, good looking shot.
Very good. Yep.
Well, it's really important for Bryan to control that top of the forefoot and in sort of the control zone here. Even though he's two up, he is still vulnerable because, you know, now Tom's going to throw a second corner guard on the other side of the house, or side of the sheet, and then you're probably going to see. I would think you'd see Bryan Cochrane end up throwing a tight center guard. We're going to work hard to get this thing over the hog line. Don't want to hog this one. Good scrubbing by the boys.
Yeah, not too much play over on that side of the sheet.
No, but it looks like it's definitely moving over there, Ross.
Yep.
Well, Jeff Clark here going to be tasked with getting that center guard up. And if he gets this up, then it's going to be up to Stefan Lazon to decide whether they're going to play the run through on it or if they're going to get him to try to come around and corner freeze. This looks like it's hanging, so it might be deeper than they were expecting. Oh, the infamous hook. You know, as a team competing against that, when there's two rocks sort of corner frozen like that, it's like sometimes they work in your favor and sometimes they don't. So he's going to have to probably have to deal with it right now just to even eliminate that. This is kind of like a little bit of Trump politics. You just kind of want to hammer this thing and force them to have to deal with your stone. While in the meantime, you know your next rock, you're going around the corner guard.
Mm-hmm. I hate to throw a hit this time of the game. You want to be, because if he hits and rolls out here, that's not good.
Yeah. So he's going to miss the other one. So that's and rolled out.
Yeah.
Major error. You know, because this is right now. This will give Bryan the opportunity to peel one of these corner guards.
Yep.
But so the only challenge is you could peel the corner guards, but those center two stones, because they're not perfectly aligned. You know, he can Cory would still be able to use those as center guards because you can draw all the way around it.
Right.
Wow, they're going to sit and discuss this. Yeah. So this is your typical age-old discussion in men's curling. Are we going on the offense here, or are we going to play D?
You've chosen the peel.
Well, and the fact that they love going around on that out-turn side, so.
Yep. You want your
Clark here. Oh, it looks like, is he going to roll over for a center guard here?
It's gonna not roll out, that's for sure.
You know what? That's not so bad. It's well, it depends now, Cory. If he goes around the corner here, then you could see you might see Bryan throw another center guard. This is getting exciting.
Right, but now they're playing around the corner guard that they they haven't been playing all game. You're right. We did see the guard itself curl quite a bit. Let's see if they get the line right, the line and speed right.
Well, the only challenge late in the game is that this is going out into where the best pebble is, and it's a lot keener. And you start to see a lot of people end up throwing it heavy or almost even through.
Yeah.
So Brian's going to have two options here. He can follow down on the in turn and try to nullify it, or just pick it out here on the out turn. Looked like it curled so much it came out the other side. So
yeah, it looks like you can see 2/3 of it, maybe. Good half anyway.
And this is one of the shots I find in the top tiers of the game is that these guys throw this shot so often and they throw it so well, but they kind of throw like an 11 or a 12-second wait, and so they can really maneuver it with the brooms. They can either hold it or they can curl it. JP Lachance.
Looks like a nice control weight throw. It's out there.
Ooh. It's out there a long way. Oh, he wants to make sure he rolls out just so it's
good.
It's not there to freeze to. Yeah, well executed shot.
Stroud takes 2 in 7 in the women's game. So it's 5-4 Madaw playing 8. Madaw with last rock.
Sherry Madaw's team looking to be repeat champions after their win last year. They will be off to Geneva at the end of April, representing Canada at the World Seniors.
Jane Hooper may never retire. What's he thinking about here?
I'm not sure. Like, he doesn't. The angles are not good for him. I'm surprised that he didn't play the double earlier just to open up the center guard a bit. Because right now he doesn't have many angles working for him. And so he either sort of chap those around to create a pocket so he can get at it later. I think the fact that his that Andrew was deep on, or sorry, not Andrew, I guess it was Jeff that was deep on his first, not Jeff, sorry. Stefan was deep on his second stone, and it came out the other side. You know, they don't really have anything going yet, so it's going to take them a couple of stones just to create something.
So they're trying to go around everything, it looks like. But this is curling.
Well, they might be just trying to even corner freeze the one on the 4, but no, yeah, you're right. He's going around everything.
It's going to be second shot at the back. That's good. Good spot.
Well,
one of the top 4 is not going to be an easy rock to get at.
Well, and it doesn't make sense to peel the corner guard, because then you're just giving him another lane to get in there.
Right.
You know, he could think about even tapping his own rock in the 12-foot back into the 4-foot and then aligning things a little better for himself. Or, mind you, if JP can get one to the top of the 4-foot, anywhere sort of just past his own, actually it's a pretty good spot. If you could weld it right on the back stone to nullify it, that would be the best shot.
Line looks great.
Looks like they're sweeping for weight just to get it back there. I think that's an awfully good shot.
Yep.
Probably those, all three of those stones up front there are all aligned. So I'm not sure that any more than one of them would go.
Yeah, they got to be careful because that rock that was just thrown could come right back onto their shot too, onto their rock.
Well, I think if he noses this, I think actually 2 reds could go. And then he'd have a rock also at the top of the ring. So actually, that's interesting scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't want to hit this high side, and then, like you say, just have it be the double jam.
This is
really
curling.
Close. This is curling off. Yeah. He's going to miss the back one. No, he did get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. And all of a sudden, just in the matter of 2 stones, this has changed. Well, I think now it's a little bit of a matter of semantics. I think what's going to happen here is you're going to see Bryan's just going to peel this yellow Heggestad stone off. Cory's going to try to hit and roll buried on the Cochran stone, and if he rolls perfectly buried, Bryan's just going to hit the rock at the back of the rings, and then it's going to be a force of 2 points for Heggestad. So,
but he's had second thoughts.
Wow, if you're throwing the guard.
I was with you. That's what I thought. That's what I thought he was going to do.
Well, they seem to come to a conclusion pretty quick, thinking I guess that the problem with if you threw the guard, you're basically giving him the chance to make a run back and lay 2 buried.
I think they just had a timeout left and they wanted to make sure, sober second thought kind of thing.
They're going hard on this. Going hard on this.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, that could be interesting too. That's just the straight draw right in there, and then what is and Bryan's going to have to chase. Be interesting at this point in the game, too, Ross, is that we talked about Cory's first stone earlier in the game. I don't know if he kept it or if even if it was the stone, but it seemed to curl off pretty quick and pretty early. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. This is interesting. This is not a shot that they've played most of the game.
No. So you're always kind of guessing at ice, but I think, for the most part, I think the players know that it's curling, 4.5 to 5 feet.
Maybe a little light. Right. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, especially down the center 4-foot path. That late in the game, that's a tough spot to throw a draw. You gotta give it something. So now if you're Bryan Cochrane, what do you do?
Yeah, he's made it awkward for Bryan now. Yeah.
Do you try to throw it sort of back 4-foot, right? Try to follow down where he was trying to go. I think that's where I would try to go.
Yeah.
Do you throw it down to yours and try to tap it back on the same angle back towards
that freeze kind of thing?
Yeah, a freeze tap. Or do you just try to throw a tight guard, right? It's tough to tell from our angles whether he has still got a run through on the rock he just threw onto that shot stone. Like if he threw a tight guard. Bryan Cochrane, the last stone of the 8th end of play. Looks like he's...
He'll be in the good stuff here. Easy.
14 to 13-9. He's trying to tap it towards the other one. Is he going to set up a double? Or did he roll too far? Oh, there's going to be a double to tie this game for Cory Heggestad. Probably the biggest shot as he's thrown in a while.
Oh, his question is, are they second shot already?
Second shot. Oh.
And I would.
They're looking.
I don't know. The answer is I don't know. I'm gonna guess red.
Yeah, I think they just tapped red. This is where you get the youngest guy on the sheet.
Yeah.
Make the decision.
And in the women's game, Mada has taken 1 and 8 to win the game 6-4. She repeats.
Wow, back to back. Well, congratulations, Sherry Mada. That's outstanding. Jane Hooper, Melissa Foster, Carrie Lee Grant.
This is going to have some pace to it, I would think.
No, Cory Heggestad throwing the double to tie this game. Let that hogline get in your way.
Oh, they like the line.
Close.
Oh no, they don't.
Oh, did you just have to touch it though? Oh, that's going to be a single point for Bryan Cochrane, and Bryan Cochrane is your new senior men's Ontario provincial champion. Congratulations to Bryan and JP Lachance, Jeff Clark, and DJ Perron. They will be
well done, gentlemen, and congratulations to the Oakville Curling Club for running a great event.
Well, huge shout out once again to our sponsors, Mr. Sub, Accessibilities, King's Arms, Piper's Heath, for being part of our great event this past week. So thanks again to everybody and for tuning in, and Bryan Cochrane is your new champion.
Well done. Thanks, Ian. We'll see
you
you around.
Penrose, and what's your next movie?
I'm retired.
Okay. All of that. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.